Britpop was a particularly British media creation, which included everyone from Suede to Pulp and Blur to the Cain and Abel of British rock, the Gallagher brothers, with their band Oasis.
I got caught shoplifting in that co-op back there, man.
With them came the perfect storm of politics, music and PR. It's the 19th of February 1996 and the annual Brit Awards are in full flow. And the rather surprising guest of honour was the Prime Minister in waiting, Tony Blair.
It's been a great year for British music. British music back once again in its rightful place at the top of the world.
The evening belonged, however, to Oasis.
In 1996, Oasis were at an absolute zenith. People forget how big that band were. So by the time of the Brit Awards, they were front and centre.
Indeed they were, and they swept the board, winning 3 awards. Their swagger suggested they'd been enjoying their evening.
I mean, the Oasis table were, to a man, were on ecstasy. So Noel was out his mind, do you know what I mean? You know, and so they were just like gone.
And it was in this state that Noel gave one of the most surprising speeches in the history of music.
Oi! There are 7 people in this room tonight who are giving a little bit of hope to young people in this country. That is me, our kid, Bonehead, Wigsy, Alan White, Alan McGee and Tony Blair. And if you've all got anything about you, you get up there and you shake Tony Blair's hand, man. He's a man. Power to the people!
I mean, it was a kind of ridiculous statement, but I mean, it was like, but I mean, when you're on ecstasy, you make ridiculous statements. He just happened to make it in front of like 100 million people watching it.
Being endorsed by Noel Gallagher in that environment was an absolute, what's the word I'm looking for?
PR godsend?
Perfect. You should do PR.
The endorsement of the Labour Party by Oasis, in particular, was big. Do you know what I mean? You know, it made it cool to be young and vote Labour.
But New Labour, knowing they were onto a good thing, wanted more. So one of Blair's inner circle, Margaret McDonough, contacted Alan McGee and his head of PR, Andy Saunders.
Margaret McDonough wanted to understand what we did and how we did it. She wanted to understand how you can manipulate popular culture, how you can take popular culture and layer on politics and layer on message.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you.
She was smart enough to realise that if she used us properly and she used our knowledge and she used our contacts, that she could create something quite special for the Labour Party.
By now you should have somehow realised what you gotta do.
So the first thing she asked us for was Oasis's database, and we said no can do.
And then she said, can you get Noel to do the Youth Labour Party conference? So I was like, I doubt it, but I'll ask. And then I phoned him and he was like, I'm fucked, man, I'm just back to America, I can't do it. Give him something, McGee, just give him a gold disc or something.
Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out.
So I went with this massive big fucking multi-platinum thing to Blair. And I went to the Blackpool Youth Conference and I met Tony Blair.
Tony Blair very cleverly used Creation Records as a great example of New Labour.
It's a great company. You know, we should be really proud of it. Alan's just telling me started 12 years ago with a £1,000 bank loan and now has a turnover of 34 million. Now that's New Labour. So
what you have to remember is everybody is spinning everybody. Nobody is leading here. There's too many good PR brains in the room for anybody to be spun.
And when New Labour won the election, it appeared to be win-win.
Everybody benefit. Creation got a huge amount of coverage. The Labour Party won the election. Everybody won. It put us very much onto the cultural agenda of the country, and my phone didn't stop ringing for 2 years.
In July 1997, Noel Gallagher and Alan McGee were invited to Downing Street in another PR coup for New Labour.
We arrived in a Rolls Royce, and got chased up Downing Street by about 400 paparazzi, went in, and hung out for about 2 hours, get shown around the place.
We knew we were being used. We knew what the deal was. We knew that we were just part of a machine.
We get conned, but I mean, what can you do? Do you know what I mean? It's like me and the rest of the country. Do you know what I mean? You know.
I think the ultimate problem was that the curtain got pulled back and we saw the Wizard of Oz. We saw the fact that PR had played a major part in the election of New Labour. We saw the advent of spin. The magician revealed his tricks. And whenever you do that, whenever you put it in people's faces, they don't like it.
But it couldn't continue, and it didn't. As the sun set on the 20th century, the PR machine behind the music business became a very different beast.
It's different now because now, of course, artists tweet, you know, they Instagram,